In the state of Georgia, rural areas are an important part of the state. In fact, 120 out of the 159 counties are considered rural. However, they're often overshadowed by urban areas like Atlanta. Population-wise, it takes 87 counties to make up the population of the 5 counties in the Atlanta area, and during an election year can be a lot of leverage, which is why it's vital that people in rural areas turn out to vote, and why Georgia Farm Bureau created the I Farm, I Vote campaign back in 2018.
When I became president of Georgia Farm Bureau, and really I saw the importance of the election coming up in 2018, I felt like we needed to get involved. Even though we're a nonpartisan organization, we do not endorse candidates. But I knew that our voices need to be heard. I think it was very important. I think it was very appropriate at the timing.
Research after the 2018 midterms proves that they did in fact make a difference in rural voter turnout and are hoping to again this year.
Back in 2018, a case study was done following the election that showed voter turnout was very high in rural areas in the 2018 election, particularly in rural counties. There were 10 or 12 counties, I believe, where voter turnout topped 70%. So obviously the rural turnout was very important and did make a difference in that election, and we just want to make sure that we can encourage our members to do the same again this year. Just because they showed up in 2018 doesn't mean they'll necessarily show up again in 2020.
This year, they added an educational component to make sure people are up to date on the issues and know who's on the ballot.
This year we have put together candidate questionnaires that have gone out to all of our congressional candidates, our Senate candidates, our state House and our state Senate candidates as well. And we are putting those on our website on ifarmivotega.com. We've also created an election guide that's interactive so folks can go in, click on their candidates in their district, learn more about them through their website, through their questionnaire. We've done video interviews with our congressional candidates, just a one-stop shop so that folks can go and learn about all of their candidates, from state races to national races to even the presidential race, all in one place.
In November, Georgia has 2 Senate seats, 14 congressional seats, and over 200 state House and Senate seats up for grabs. In future years, that could be even more, depending on this year's census data, which is why it's important people fill it out and get counted.
The census is really important for rural Georgia as well, because that is how certain things are dictated, especially money and power. Money being federal funds, other sorts of grants and stuff that are disseminated to counties based on their population, their needs, that sort of thing, which is counted through the census, of course. And then power, obviously, with congressional districts, other legislative districts, they're shaped due to data that is derived from the census. So it's very important for our folks to be counted.
Reporting in Bibb County for the Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.